And just recently, the city manager has appointed me to look at downtown a little bit more carefully and bring some synergy between projects that we're doing and all of our stakeholders and partners, which I'm lucky to have some of them here with me this morning, and others that aren't up so early that are also participating in this, that are usually up in the evenings because their businesses are most active in the evenings. And with that being said, we want to announce today that we're going to be focusing on a series of beautification efforts, the first one being January 19th, which is this coming Saturday morning. It is one of those typical beautification efforts. We'll be picking up litter, we'll be looking at cleaning up sidewalks along the curbs, the streets, fixing things that need repair as we sort of eyeball them and make our way through the list of tasks that we're going to be developing for all of our city departments. We have a number of city departments that are already working on different issues around downtown. As a matter of fact, with solid waste, I was very encouraged by the fact that I saw a mini solid waste truck. And that's one of the things that we've recently acquired to help maneuver downtown streets a little bit better and get to the places where we need to get to address those solid waste issues in picking up things. And we've done a walk around recently with our TERS board as well. So there's different things going on in downtown that I think are going to make our downtown look a lot better. We want to bring some positive attention to that. And that's one of the reasons we want to have this press conference and get the word out. Obviously, our downtown businesses here are going to see that activity. And that's another reason we want to get the word out, is so that those businesses, if they haven't heard about it and they haven't seen it, they're going to see it on Saturday morning. And we're going to start with a small section. It's going to be east and west along Iturbide. And we're going to take Zaragoza, Grant, which is right where some of you are standing, and Iturbide Street, and we're going to go from Santa Ursula on this side all the way over to Santa Maria on this side. And it's about a 15 block section. And as I said, we're going to be doing very simple things: tree trimming, power washing, hopefully some window washing as well. There's already been some curbs that have been painted in some sections that are a little bit outside that work area. You're going to continue to see that work. We're going to work on the meters and replacing decals on those meters. Hopefully we'll also have some of you are standing right by a stormwater inlet right over here to my right. We'll have some new decals and make the stormwater inlets look a little bit better as well. So there's a lot of work. Our volunteer coordinator, Manny over there, has mentioned that we have 85 volunteers already signed up for that morning. And I understand from our partners, we'll probably get another 20. And so that puts us at right around 100 volunteers for that morning, which for that stretch of space is plenty of hands working on that particular area. And so we appreciate all of our volunteers that have already signed up. If you are interested, you can go to our, Volunteer Laredo Center Facebook page, and you can contact our volunteer center through there, or you can call our community development department at 956-795-2675. And with that, I'm going to pass the mic along. We're going to start at 7:30 a.m. for registration, and we hope to wind things down by about 12 noon that day. And we hope that this is the beginning of something really, really positive, and building some additional energy and synergies in our downtown to bring our downtown back to a new place. Because a lot of people that I speak to remember the Laredo of downtown yesteryear, and we have a lot of reminders in that architecture and the beauty of our museums and our structures, like our church that's right here as a backdrop to the entire downtown and this historic epicenter, but we definitely need to renew it. And so with that, the city of Laredo is committed to doing that, and we're refocusing our efforts. And thanks to our private sector partners that have come in and really said, hey, we want to do this. Can you help us? And can we get together and can we make more things happen in downtown? And so the resounding response to that is absolutely yes. And so with that, I'm going to pass it along to Jose Ceballos, representing Fasken Oil and Ranch in La Posada this morning.
Good morning, everyone. Buenos dias. It's kind of chilly this morning. My message really with this announcement is that it takes partnership. Obviously, The city has taken a great lead with this project, the beautification project. And actually it's a culmination of probably at least 18 months of working both the public and private sector. But you'll see a lot of departments that do this on a day-to-day basis come together this Saturday. We're excited for it. The other message is to invite the private sector. Obviously, I'm a consultant for Fasken and I represent the private sector, is to invite other property owners, folks that are leasing here, businesses, and also others that may be interested in coming, because that's the goal, is to revitalize. And in this business of a public-private partnership, it's going to take all of us, and as well, it's going to take community stakeholders to join us in this effort. So my message today for the public and for all of us here is to join in partnership and to help us revitalize downtown. Downtown is really the core of this community, of the Laredo community, and I find that in our work, as we plan our conference center and as we do other things, we've committed to the redevelopment of downtown, and hopefully we can have other partners, both public and private, that join us. Again, commend everybody, especially those departments from the city. We thank you. I know the work is ahead of us, and I know that sometimes we pester a little bit to get things done, but just know that we appreciate you greatly in your partnership with us on the private side. Thank you, Blasita, for your leadership and for city management's leadership in getting this done. And this will probably be one of many other things that you'll see as we redevelop and revitalize downtown. Thank you very much.
Next, I'd like to introduce Julian Rotnowski, who is a local entrepreneur who knows a lot about what's been going on in downtown, and he himself has been integral in the development process and some of the new businesses that we've seen in downtown recently. So with that, Julian.
Thank you, Blasita. So I represent Trail Estate, which is a commercial real estate firm. As a full-time job and as a part-time job, I've been working with a lot of the private sector, especially the bars that have been locating downtown and finding this their new home. There's been a lot of new development. A lot of new bars are already on their way of opening up. We appreciate the city for putting all this together. The bars appreciate this. I know they're going to get involved on helping beautify the downtown in this cleanup effort. It's been an amazing process this past couple of years. The downtown has really been turning around, and to reiterate, we really appreciate the city coming forward, and that's why the private sector is coming forward also. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And a longtime presence in downtown is Laredo Main Streets, and to talk a little bit about our partnership there and also the part that they're going to take in this event is Laredo Main Streets Executive Director Priscilla Iglesias.
Thank you, Blasita. So as she mentioned, Laredo Main Street is an organization that has been focused on the historic preservation and revitalization of downtown Laredo for already 20 years. And so it's exciting for us to see these public-private partnerships that are happening now and are really starting to develop in the downtown area. And kind of going off of what Mr. Ceballos said, is really getting the community involved and partnerships. It's really all about the public sector and the private sector getting together, joining forces, and using their resources to beautify our downtown. It's important for the community to come out and assist in projects like this, because our history here runs so deep, and we can only enjoy that history if we all come together and really take care of it and take pride in our community. And so I would like to thank the City of Laredo and all of the private sector that's coming together and putting this together. The volunteers that have already signed up. If you want to join us, please contact the City of Laredo so that we can give you some tasks to do that day. But we're really excited, and we'll see you all on Saturday.
So besides what we're going to be doing on Saturday, I do want to bring some attention to some of the other things that we see around us and we maybe take for granted. I mentioned to you our TERS. That's the Tax Increment Reinvestment Zone Board. And those board members walked around this past week and were looking at some very specific things that they would like to achieve And so what that TERS is doing is they are already collecting some funding that they're going to be able to reinvest into major public infrastructure projects. They're putting together their project plan, thus the reason they were walking around, so that they can get a real sense of what they want to achieve with that project plan. We have a draft already of our downtown parking study, which is absolutely exciting and wonderful. And our traffic director over there is pretending like he can't hear me, but he's got that to us, and we're already looking at that as well. And that should also be discussed very soon and issued out to the public, which means we'll get it to our city council here very soon. Just over to this side, the parking study was a very broad area as well. If I remember correctly, it was 96 blocks, Robert? So that's a pretty large area, taking into account our entire central business district. Boulevard of the Americas, if you remember the 4 blocks leading to our international bridge or out of our international bridge, that's also online, ongoing. And as a matter of fact, just recently had a discussion with Councilmember Bali, who's our city council member for this particular district, and looking at what funding sources there are to put into that project to really, really get it moving. Everyone has seen and felt and been displaced at one point or another if you circulate around downtown with our water and wastewater line replacement project. And as a matter of fact, some of the conditions of the streets here are like they are because those lines have recently been replaced, and we have to come back and we have to obviously scrape that up and repave it and make it nice and smooth again. So all of that is also ongoing. We have the codifying of our comp plan, which means our comprehensive plan will be made into ordinance, and so that's something that's very important because we have a very specific section about downtown that we're looking to institutionalize that and make it part of our code. So that's important. We have the conference center project that Jose mentioned as well, which is a component of the revitalization of downtown. It's Street, which is this one right back here. That's short for Iturbide. We have a wonderful initiative there that Julian touched on regarding the bars and new businesses there. At the January 22nd meeting, we'll see an introductory ordinance for bicycles and scooters, the electronic scooters that you've seen in other cities. Those are coming to Laredo, and so City Council will hopefully ratify the ordinance that will regulate those scooters in our downtown. And so we're going to start seeing people zipping around on scooters before you know it. We have our Mercado building, which is the Laredo Center for the Arts. It's also getting a little bit of a new added attention because we want to develop an artist in residence program there. And so that is also in the works. Outlet shops, we're always looking to see what we can do more there. And I see Dan Davila from the outlet shops here. Thank you for joining us as a partner as well, Dan. There's some exciting things. I don't want to let anything out of the bag yet, but we're working on some fun stuff that I think will add a lot to the aesthetics and appeal to get people into the door, obviously. Our Veterans Museum, hopefully we'll have some resolution with the county. As you know, there was a group of veterans and families that entered into some litigation, so we're working our way through that so that we can see that come to fruition. Downtown housing through our community development department. I see a lot of community development employees this morning. They are working on a lot of projects in downtown to do some additional housing. And of course, public art. Public art is a very interesting and amazing component to adding some additional life and vibrancy to our downtown area. And so we're working on that too from a couple of different fronts. And so these are all very wonderful, exciting times, a short list really. I haven't had a chance to really dig deep because there's probably more things I can put on this list, but just, those are some of the things that we're keeping track of and that we're going to start again to really tie the common thread amongst all of those projects so that we can keep them moving forward and see each of them come to fruition where they have not yet come to fruition and follow up. So with that being said, I don't have any additional information for you. I think we gave you the basics. Saturday the 19th, 7:30 to 12. We've already got an abundance of volunteers, but certainly if there's more folks out there that feel compelled to come in and help out their downtown, we won't turn you away. We'll find a task for you. We appreciate your time this morning. Let's get warmed up.
Cheese.